That is Faker.
All right, let's get into Champ Select. I'm so excited.
Yeah, man. Game 1, SK Telecom T1 versus LGIM Team 2.
And there we go, the Jarvan ban immediately.
Yep, banning that against Lilac. And we're going to see those TF and Jace bans over on purple side.
And that Lee Sin is targeted at Sylph, by the way. That's not for Lilac, really. And Twisted Fate and Jace going to go down.
Mandatory bans. You only get one ban on purple side in Korea.
Indeed, ain't that the truth. But Kennen for Impact, this was one of the champions that he really performed well on throughout Champions Spring. So he's a veteran Kennen player, certainly knows what he's doing. As we can see right there, he was 7-0 on Kennen in Spring 2013.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So that's not a bad score at all, is it?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Huh. Well, can he make it 8-0? We'll see. I may feel a bet in that nature is comfortable at this point. We'll see what the rest of the team lines up to be, though.
Well, the thing about Kennen
did get his thresh.
The thing about Kennen is he's very mechanically easy to play, and Shaco may be coming down.
Yeah, you know, Jungle Shaco's been making a few more appearances lately, and I mean, he turns invisible a lot, so it's not like his appearances are, you know, long-lasting, but we've seen him a couple times.
Indeed, and we saw KT Bullets play him just last week in their games against World Elite, where Insec, before he switched to top lane, it was one of his last games. Nope, not gonna see it. We got trolled. Jin Zhao instead.
Jin Zhao's got that expression on his face. He's like, what, me?
And here we go, the Nunu lock-in immediately for Bengi.
And do you think this is going to be a Nunu support, or are we maybe going to see a jungle? We are.
Definitely,
you think jungle?
Definitely jungle.
All right.
Right now,
the days of Nunu Caitlyn bot lane are dead. Dead and gone.
It's just, here's the thing about Nunu jungle right now, is that he gives you such incredible buff control with the new jungle changes. And LeBlanc being taken by Kuro.
Yeah. Throwing down the gauntlet in a big way, man.
Yeah, wow.
You don't pick LeBlanc against Faker. That is just asking for trouble. We'll see if he can handle it.
I thought we were going to see a lot more LeBlanc this season.
Oh, I want to see Faker Pantheon. Please, please make this happen. Faker Pantheon. Oh, all right.
So the thing about this Nunu pickup is you get that level 1 buff control that's so critical. But he's also a fast push champion because you can just blood boil that Caitlyn, and the Nami provides such great zone. Yeah. And can shove people off turrets with their ult if necessary. So what we're looking at here is really a fast push core, and it'll probably be a dueling Kennen. This is going to be a fast push with 3, and then a split push with Kennen.
Interesting.
And then a roaming Kassadin.
Ah, yeah. So, that makes a lot of sense now.
This is SK Telecom's goals are quite clear.
Are we going to see a support Malzahar again? Or maybe even a support LeBlanc in this case.
It could be a support LeBlanc.
No, of course not support, because we've got a Thresh, so unless it's top Thresh.
Top Thresh, it's a new meta, but we'll have to see what this last pick is going to be.
Well, I mean, this wouldn't be the first time we've seen support Malzahar, but
this is going to be an exciting game. We have 2 mid laners that can roam very heavily, known for their burst potential. We are in for a treat of a game, I think, Doa.
Oh, man. No question about that. I'm so excited, man. I mean, and this is Champions. It's so rare when we have a game that doesn't have some sort of surprising aspect to it. It's great. So thinking about that Malzahar still, we'll see if they lock it in. I'm not so sure, but then again, it could happen. And there's Gragas, so it looks like it will be a support LeBlanc if they lock that in then.
Well, it'll probably be a top lane Gragas, and what they're probably going to do
I just want to see LeBlanc support really badly, apparently.
This is probably what they're going to do, is they're going to 2v1 mid, give Gragas blue buff, and send him bot.
Ah, yeah, I see. That makes sense.
But that'll put them in a really weird situation with perhaps a 1v1.
Okay, and maybe the Gragas. You know, how do you feel about Gragas against the 2v1 in mid if SK Telecom wants to force that?
Yeah, they won't do that. They want they're going to want a solo lane for Kassadin, and then this may be some sort of hidden counter to Kennen, actually, this LeBlanc pick. But we'll have to see how the lane rotations work, and I'm very curious because, of course, these are matchups that I'm utterly unfamiliar with. LeBlanc versus Kennen isn't something I ever see.
You would imagine that LeBlanc would do quite well 1v1 against Kennen, but we're going to have to wait and see, I guess. There's our top lane, Impact versus Sylph, Kennen versus LeBlanc. In the jungle, Bengi on Nunu versus Lilac on Jin Zhao. Jin Zhao's like, "Arr!" That's the sound he's making right now. Yeah.
He's forever yelling.
It's his war cry. Down in mid lane, Faker on Kassadin versus Kuro playing Gragas. Gragas just looks a little bit bored all the time, but maybe it's just because he's got like fat eyelids. I don't know. Down at AD carry, Piglet playing Caitlyn versus Scarlet on Varus. And finally down at support, we have Mondu playing Nami versus Bewing on Thresh. It's gonna be such a great game. I am so psyched. Here we go, guys. Game number 1, LGIM2 versus SK Telecom. Let's get in the game. All right, guys. Group C, set 1. LGIM2 versus SK Telecom T1, the only SK Telecom remaining now at this point.
So this might be, we might see a lot of rotations here because both LeBlanc and Kassadin are very weak to 2v1 lanes.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see who's willing to give up kind of more experience as they rotate lanes, if anyone at all, to get the matchup that they want here.
Oh, Faker. Oh, Lilac, a little bit of damage put onto him. A lot of damage make that. Nice peacemaker at the end from Piglet. And so a little bit of blows traded, but no kills. Not yet. But looking at these champions on each team, I've got a feeling this is not going to exactly be the most passive game we've ever seen.
Yeah, probably not.
To say the least.
So in terms of how these, I mean, really LGIM, they've got a lot of potential to create picks with their composition and isolate people very quickly with LeBlanc there in bottom. Yeah. So everything looking good for LGIM2 right now. This should be what they desired, what their hearts desired coming out of this situation, besides losing that red buff.
Yeah. Oh, Lilac.
Yeah.
Coming into the enemy jungle there.
Faker and Bengi trying to prevent them from stealing red in return, but they're not going to be able to stop it with Bewing and Scarlet there.
Yeah, I really doubt it. Oh, that death sentence so close. That ward nearly came in very handy, and I mean, it did come in handy anyway, giving him that vision onto Bengi as he moves over to the mini golems. Meanwhile, we've got Impact versus Sylph, so it is the top versus top, but Impact is going to need to be really careful. You can see he's already down on CS a little bit, even this early on in the game. You know, like you said, Monty, I mean, we've never really seen this matchup before, but I would imagine it's going to be pretty tough for Kennen.
Yeah, I think so too. It is going to preclude any kind of real team fighting, though, for LGIM2 in the late game, because their biggest strength is just going to be, like I said, isolating a target, catching somebody with Thresh, or with the Gragas ult, or with Xin Zhao all solo, bursting them down.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting that they would try to shut down Kennen so hard. As, oh, here comes Bengi coming in. They do get the snowball onto Sylph. Sylph in a little bit of trouble here. Sylph in a lot of trouble here, actually. The passive gets popped, but it's first blood anyway for Impact. And that's exactly what they need to do to keep that LeBlanc from making Kennen have a very bad day in that solo lane.
Yeah, the problem here is that Sylph kept his flash and ignite. So
you're right.
I mean, both players still have flash and ignite, but with LeBlanc having a bit more AP thanks to grabbing some more items, it may become a problem in terms of just a burst potential when LeBlanc returns to lane here.
Yeah. And I mean, Kennen, just one of those champions that we've talked about too that really doesn't need a ton of items. You know, his big benefit is CC.
Oh, Faker
gets so caught. Flay pretty good as well. Can Scarlet finish him off? Oh, the Q nearly does it, but not quite. Takes a big turret hit in exchange. They force Faker out of lane, but can't quite get that kill. Oh, Scarlet in a little bit of trouble to Flay, trying to push Bengi away. That's a close call, man. You got to really respect that Nunu. Another Snowball coming in. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, this Jungle Nunu's going to have a lot of power behind him.
Yeah, Jungle Nunu is just so good right now. We see it as pretty much a permaban in the LCS these days for the reason that he's just so very, very annoying to deal with, particularly if you have a team that has a very level 18 out of any champion in the game.
Yeah.
So he becomes this monster tank with a giant AoE slow. And yeah, we do see Bengi coming top before recalling. Not really going to be looking for that gank, though. I'd love to see the turret HP right now, actually, but we're not going to get it up there in top lane. And Sylph playing a surprisingly passive LeBlanc. I wonder what his plan is.
Well, I wonder if he just got a little bit scared by that gank, too. And I mean...
Yeah, but this Kennen has cloth armor. Like
that's well. The thing is, I mean, with this kind of rookie team sort of thing, we're gonna see a little bit of the mentality come in where they're gonna be scared by things that maybe more veteran teams wouldn't be scared by. Like, it looks like nerves to me. We don't know for sure, but that's my kind of initial first impression with that. Sylph, though, they're coming in, lightning rush on him, gets the stun, nice timing there. Bengi trying to get him in with the snowball, it does a lot of damage. Here comes Lilac, they're gonna go on to Impact for the revenge kill. So they go 1-1. Lilac and Bengi duking it out now, but
you can't be scared as LeBlanc, you really have to just go all in.
You do, man. I mean, that's her thing, that's what LeBlanc does. Lilac and Bengi trading pretty heavily here.
And the fact this mid turret hasn't gone down yet either is pretty not good for LGIM too.
Yeah.
Like, you have to expect to get this turret, but also I think it says a little bit about Faker that he's been able to farm as well as Kuro on Kassadin. Of course, it's a lot easier to farm in that 1v2 is Gragas.
Right.
And we've seen Faker do this before in his legendary LeBlanc game.
Yeah. I mean, and Kassadin is the exact same type of champion that you could have a game like he did with LeBlanc.
Right, so he possesses an amazing ability to farm in 1v2s in situations that many other players wouldn't be. Kassadin's even harder, though, because you don't even have that ranged auto attack.
Yeah, you got to get in there in melee.
But he's been doing a good job, even though he did lose the turret. That was an inevitability of this laning situation.
Yeah. Lilac waiting for Impact to maybe come in. He is level 6. He does have that lightning rush. Sylph trying to bait pretty hard right now, but doesn't look like Impact wants to take it. There's a huge minion wave too, so it'd be pretty silly to do that.
I mean, Bengi just doing an amazing job of controlling the jungle now of LGIM2.
Yeah.
Really getting in there, being disruptive, getting some forward wards down. He's trying to torture Lilac a little bit, and gotta say, he's succeeding this game.
Yeah, for sure, man. They're both up by that red buff right now, but here comes Buing. He's there as well, trying to flame in. There's a death sentence, gets dodged by Bengi. That is a nimble gorilla, man. He doesn't look like it, but he can do like somersaults if he wants to.
Okay, so here's really interesting. Look at the map movement right now. They're trying to go in here. Bengi running away from the little golems. But Sylph, can he actually get a kill right here? He needs to do something at this point in order just not to fall off really hard a little further on into the mid game.
Yeah, definitely a bit concerned for Sylph right now. That bot turret taking some damage. We do have, though, Scarlet and Buing coming down. Not going through river, though. They're just going to switch lanes and chill out there. Looks like they're going to give the blue buff over to Sylph. And so this is interesting. Sylph is going to go, it looks like, back up top or maybe even mid.
Well, this is the part where he's probably just going to start roaming.
Yeah.
Very heavily. And finally, top turret goes down there as well. Mandu makes it out of a sticky situation, but Sylph going in.
Oh, that's right, Faker. He's got the chains on him. There's the Sun Lilac coming in. Faker flashes. Can he get away? Yes, it's really hard to lock down Kassadin. As we can see, Bengi throwing that snowball into Sylph, but he may regret it. The stun on him from the chains as well. Lilac and Sylph chasing. Faker coming around again. Can he save this? But no, Bengi gets away. He's just fast enough. Now Buing going after Impact. They've got him wrapped up immediately. The slicing Maelstrom gets popped, but it's not enough. A kill from Scarlet onto Impact in that bot lane, and they're going to get a decent amount of damage on this turret out of it too.
This is why I love Buing's Thresh. He's so clutch when it comes to landing the death sentence. In all the games I've seen him play Thresh, his best skill actually is to use it during team fights because he can thread it through to the carry like no one else I've ever seen. He can just grab the carry from the back of a fight. It's pretty incredible.
Well, one thing too that I've been noticing is that he's been very, very good about prioritizing. Oh, forget that, Sylph coming in, doing some damage to Faker, but not enough to kill him. Not able to quite get that combo off.
Yeah, with the double silence going down right there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually a really awkward dueling situation because the odds of both of them getting silenced down are pretty good.
Yeah.
So you kind of have like one rotation, and then they just kind of sit there and look at each other for a while.
Yeah, it's almost like you get like a half rotation off, and that's about
Yeah.
it. But what I wanted to say about Thresh, though, with viewing is that he's really good about prioritizing Flay over Death Sentence. And that's something you always want to do on a Thresh. If you're close enough, use Flay because, you know, Death Sentence has that longer cooldown. You know, you want to be able to save that for when they try to get away. But so many Threshes, even at the pro level, always try to lock them down with Death Sentence first and then Flay. But it's really oftentimes better to use the Flay first.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So use Flay first.
Flay first. Furiously. For the win.
There you go.
There's no real victory thing that begins with F, is there?
No, I'm afraid not.
Yeah.
Your alliteration has been cut short this time.
I know. Oh well.
So Faker having not too rough of a time. He has managed to get a decent amount of CS and start stacking that tier up. But it's going to be a while before he gets some real combat stats out of that. Although the weird thing about Kassadin is he is sort of one of those champions that gets combat stats out of mana because the bigger mana pool he has, the more times he can stack the Rift Walk to do more damage.
Yeah. Speaking of damage, putting some down onto Kuro right now. And you notice they did take out that really hidden ward. Oh, Tidal Wave coming in. They want to catch Viewing. Oh, and they get it with the Q. What a play by Mondu. Viewing trying to play them away, but it's not enough, even with the ultimate from Scarlet. Ace in the hole takes another chunk out of Scarlet. Man, Mondu is just so good on like every support.
A really good trap there as well from Piglet to secure that kill. Using the time bot from the knockup to lay it down and then chain that CC together, and that will result in a very easy dragon for SK Telecom.
That play right there was really just Piglet and Pooh in a nutshell. That's like what they do. They are so good. Their synergy is so incredible that they just nearly always get kills by themselves. They're always the duo that you see getting kills in lane.
Yeah, this is the unfortunate thing about SK Telecom in the past is they haven't had great synergy as 5, but that's true. As we like to call them, the 100-acre lane.
Yeah, exactly.
The 100-acre lane does have great internal synergy.
Gonna get that kill pretty easily. Yeah, Sylph was pretty low after that fight. Faker, man, so bold. So Faker.
It is. So Faker with that kill right there, and Sylph doing absolutely nothing right now with this LeBlanc, making me question why he's playing it.
I'm really confused by the LeBlanc pick. I mean,
I thought it was some sort of hidden counter to Kennen, but then he just got owned by Kennen, so.
I suppose it could be, but I feel like Bengi stopped that from happening. You know, well, he got Impact that little lead early, and Impact was able to kind of roll with it.
Yes, but then Sylph comes back into lane with items from dying, and Impact didn't recall, and he was sitting there with cloth. Like,
I feel like a better LeBlanc player would have been better at this. Like, I feel like I see what he's trying to do, and I agree with it, but just the way Sylph has been playing, it hasn't been the best.
Yeah, I think Sylph is uncomfortable as champion. Oh, two-man Aqua Prison.
That is an Aqua Prison. Wow. Mondu, so good. And they're going to try to go after Sylph here. Tidal Wave knocks up a lot of members. LGIM, another good knockup. They catch him in Bengi's ultimate a little bit. Lilac in the middle of the team fight. They do manage to pull in and take down Lilac. Mondu's on the outside. A 3-man Aqua Prison. Oh, man, he's so good. Bengi still trying to keep people alive here. Viewing in the middle of it. He gets the box on a lot of members. A lot of low-health people. But here comes Piglet. He's going to be able to clean up quite a few if he gets good positioning.
Impact's here as well.
Viewing, though. Yeah.
Will they be able to chase anyone else down?
I don't know, man. Sylph still in that mid lane, trying to take out Piglet.
He's going to die to Ignite.
No way.
Ah!
Oh! Sylph got him, but is he going to make it out?
Yes, man. He should be able to get out. There we go.
He should, yeah. I was waiting for that lightning rush from Impact, but there it is. A little bit too late.
Yeah, okay, so right there, I want to point out how clutch Viewing's death sentence onto Faker was. The way that he got it onto Faker was pretty amazing. And then the target switching by LGIM #2.
How do you like that Meiji's on Faker right now? That's
oh yes, it's full Faker, man.
He's going full Faker, yeah.
He does play cocky. That's one thing about these guys. So he will get the Magi's, which we rarely see.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, not only am I going to get a ton of kills, but I'm going to live too. And, you know, Faker's one of those few mid laners where I could be like, yeah, all right, Meiji's, yeah, sure, go ahead. Meiji's in a Korean pro game? Sure. Let's do it.
Okay, so Impact pushing out this lane right now, and we already do have a relatively bloody game, but with the number of assassins that we've got here, it's going to keep going. The kills are going to keep coming. And Faker,
are you going to get to stack that thing or what? Trying to do a bit of damage. Oh, nice. Dodging the flay from viewing.
It's coming in. Going to try and hold this turret right here. Might be a bit challenging.
Yep. You know, I feel like, oh, he's going to do a little bit more damage.
Impact is running through LJM's jungle right now.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he is. And, oh, not the best lightning rush I've ever seen, but
yeah, using that,
happens.
I mean, that was just a really nice ult bait.
Oh, wow, Faker gets trapped, and they lock him down with the ultimate from Varus. Can they actually get it? Nice hail of arrows slowing him, but again, Kassadin just nearly uncatchable.
And here's the thing, though, is that SK Telecom can shove turrets so quickly with the Caitlyn Nunu combination, as well as the zone provided by Nami, that right now, LGIM2 their first goal should be stopping the fast push, because that's ultimately what's going to kill them.
Yeah.
And if, now that like we have 2 of the 3 turrets down, or 3 of the 3 turrets down, excuse me, for SK Telecom, they can go back, buy a bunch of pink wards, get them in the jungle, and if they're shoving a lane, then they can just use Faker to, with good warding, to assassinate anyone whenever they find themselves alone.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really, really scary for LGIM2.
You know, one concern I have a little bit for LGIM as well is, you know, where's the damage going to come from? They have, I feel like they have a team where everyone kind of needs to be together for the damage to really be high. Individually, SK Telecom like out damages them on champions by quite a bit. Especially
because the counter to the assassination of Kassadin was supposed to be the assassination potential of LeBlanc, but
yeah,
LeBlanc finally picking up a couple kills, but still a little bit down, that's for sure.
Wow, you need a little bit more than Sork shoes and a scary book and a couple rings to do damage.
Okay, well, the push is beginning again.
Yeah.
And we can see Impact picking up one of those pink wards right now. And they're also going to be helped out by the Ruby Sightstone on Nunu. They've got a ton of wards right now in order to just completely take that vision advantage. Oh, wow.
Faker's starting to get a little bit scary.
This is what happens with Kassadin in the mid-game.
Yep. Yeah, the damage is going to be insane. And Sylph, Faker coming down. He comes through that ward, though. He's going to come in on the Sylph. Sylph gets the chains off first, so there's a little bit of a stun. But yeah, I mean, Kassadin versus LeBlanc is just a fight that seems like it'll just never be resolved, you know?
Yeah, right there, too, is really heads-up play by Sylph to toss the chains into the brush.
Yeah, yeah.
After seeing him with the Dragon Ward. And here we go. Wards have been cleared out. And SK Telecom, they want this.
Yeah. Trying to go for that Dragon.
Yeah, Impact is very fragile right now. He does have the Abyssal to get some MR against this LeBlanc, but other than that, he's not going to last long.
Yeah. And we'll see if they end up teamfighting this. Mondu's got his ultimate available. If they line up, that could be a good tidal wave. He's waiting for it. He wants to have it happen a little bit. Oh, Scarlet airballs the ult, and there it is. Tidal wave coming in. Only hits one person, but they do manage to separate viewing from the rest of the team. Mondu, in the meantime, coming down with a Knocko Prison on Scarlet and Lilac, and the damage is huge. A double kill already from Piglet. Make that a triple kill, and SK Telecom just rolls over LGIM in that fight.
Faker, man, what a god for just baiting out that Chains of Corruption right there. Went back, stacked his Rift Walk a little more, and then just dealt the burst.
Wow, dude. Got a little bit of damage from Piglet. Kuro showing that he can still do something on Gragas. Sylph comes in. Piglet doesn't make it out, but Sylph may not either. There's the passive. Oh, a double kill. Very nice for Sylph. Gonna get taken down, but
that was a really clutch play for LGIM2. They had to go all in on that because otherwise they were just going to lose a lot more turrets, and this game would have definitely they would have lost control of the entire game.
Killing Piglet was so crucial right there. He knew exactly who he needed to take down, and There's LeBlanc. She's got that Deathfire Grasp now, too, so the damage is starting to creep up there a bit.
Yes, the damage definitely creeping up, especially because we do see Kuro with that Abyssal Scepter.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of AP burst, and that MR shred going to be enormously helpful. But this also means that LGIM is going to have to stick together in order to maximize their potential damage.
Yeah.
And SK Telecom, they can split push quite easily, so
well,
it could be an issue.
the dragon here. They do. All right, getting the dragon. The game's certainly not out of reach yet for LGIM. Just a little bit behind, but it's starting to get scary.
Okay. Well, uh-oh.
Oh, man. Oh, gotta be careful. It's always so tempting to try to throw down that hail of arrows on Varus, but sometimes you tend to overextend just a little bit. It's just such a fun ability to land, though. You know, there's just abilities. There's some abilities in League of Legends that are just fun to hit people with.
There we go. Coming out on Sylph. Faker finds him.
Yeah, Sylph trying to make it out.
Uses...
Oh, Flash. That snowball changed directions. That's a magic snowball, and it's going to result in a death for Sylph. Aqua Prison over the wall doesn't hit anybody, but still they'll be happy with that. I've never seen a snowball change directions in midair, man. It's like a UFO snowball.
Well, that, I mean, Sylph pushing out that far, even on a champion like LeBlanc, when you have this Kassadin that can really follow up quite easily with Rift Walk, with Flash when he has it up. Can't really be caught out alone like that. I'd love to see Faker's stacks right now on Majai's.
Yeah. Oh, Faker. Doesn't have the kills quite yet. Just 1, 1, and 4, but...
Yeah, he probably only has, I think he has 3 stacks right now.
Yeah. Man, I haven't bought Mages for so long. Is it like 1 for an assist and like 2 for a kill or something like
yes.
that? Okay, that's what I thought. Used to be my like standard Annie build back in like 2011 to get like Mages first and be like, yeah, let's do this.
Okay. Well, we do have the grouping up from LGIM, to be expected in this situation. They can't let themselves get caught out again like that. And the wards starting to penetrate their jungle as well. They have to clear those out. Otherwise, they're making themselves so vulnerable to Faker right now.
Yeah. Huh. All right. Yeah, so there's the Oracles now picked up by Viewing. He also did get a Vision Ward as well, so they know. They know that Monte Cristo is right. They need to start clearing out some of those wards.
Well, they're dead to rights if they don't clear out those wards, pretty much. They'll never be able to escape from Faker, and then as soon as that's gone, the fast pushing from Caitlyn and Nunu is just going to wreck them.
Yep. Viewing gets the flay onto Bengi, but, oh, Bengi, man.
He is nimble.
Yeah, the nimble Yeti. The most nimble Yeti in the entire North. He's the real king of the North, I guess.
All right, Lilac coming into the versus Scarlet. They're just trying to make picks right now. This is the danger, right? The composition from SK Telecom is that they have these 2 duelists that are very powerful.
Oh, Lilac getting a bit caught by Faker. I don't know if he's going to make it out. Nice knockback. Has to use his flash, so he will escape.
And Faker taking effectively no damage there either. He's still stacking that Archangel staff. Of course, Kassadin not the fastest champion at fully stacking a tier.
No, not really. He's doing okay, though.
Now, the saving grace of LGIM2 is that they do have good wave clear.
Yeah, oh, Sylph getting absolutely rocked by Faker, trying to escape. Can he get away? No. Faker gets that one. Meanwhile, a big scary push coming up mid lane. That Mages is stacking.
So, here's the issue, and...
Oh, they grab Mondu. Can they make anything out of this? Tidal Wave goes down immediately. They trap Kuro. Here comes a Lightning Rush from Impact, though. Nice zoning with that. Viewing throws on the box. They do catch Mondu. Piglet coming in from behind, though. He's taking turret aggro. Nearly kills Scarlet. Scarlet stays alive, just barely. Looks like SK Telecom, though. They're going to take a 0 for 3. Oh, never mind. Nami does finally go down. Nice barrel over the wall. But they do get the turret, too.
Yeah, the problem here with the team compositions, Doa, is that SK Telecom has 2 duelists that are very, very scary right now. They've got Kennen and they've got Kassadin, and they've got such a strong push with the Nami, Caitlyn, Nunu combo in the mid lane. Now, how does LGIM deal with a triple lane split push, or even if they're not split pushing, the threat of Kassadin coming and just murdering someone in one of the side lanes? They only really have one duelist. Now, we saw Lilac.
Piglet's in trouble here. Oh, what a flash cleanse he gets out of it. Man, Piglet, you know, we watch players like Imp and we forget just how good some of the other carries are here in Korea.
That was 100-0.
That actually, I didn't even have time to see that. I was looking at you for a second. When I came back, Soph was dead. I literally didn't even see that kill. I saw that one though.
Faker is becoming an absolute monster right now. What are the stacks? He doesn't, 13 stacks, oh my.
Geez. The Seraphs is
461 AP with that needlessly large rod now. Yeah. So what I was saying is, how do you deal with this? Once we're, like, not even once we're at this point, but you have to conceptually deal with it as a team first, of these two assassins when you only have LeBlanc. Because you have to put Gragas against the fast push core of SK Telecom in mid lane, because you need the wave clear from Gragas and Varus, and then Thresh is going to show up there as well, right?
Right.
So then what we have is Lilac is jungling Xin Zhao, so he's just not going to have the items.
Yeah.
And you have Sylph, who fell behind early, and that's only one duelist anyway. So there's basically no way that LGIM, if SK Telecom plays this composition properly, to stop the split push, to stop themselves from dying. And so this is really a situation, I feel, of SKT just deeply outpicking LGIM.
It sure looks that way. And I mean, you have to give points to LGIM for creativity, but it hasn't been working out as well as they would have hoped in this game. There goes red buff. I mean, essentially, SK Telecom controls LGIM's side of the map.
The only thing LGIM can really do is get control of their jungle again, which they're trying to with the Oracle, and then set up a pick. They have to like hide in the bush and get a pick, because that's the only way they're going to be able to reverse pressure.
SK Telecom just going to straight up Baron now.
This is dangerous though.
Very dangerous.
Red side Gragas is the best Baron stealer in the game.
Yeah, he's going to give it a try. Kind of waiting, coming over the wall. Impact coming in, gets killed immediately, gets kicked back. Oh, such a huge slicing Maelstrom. And now here comes Kassadin. All the damage. Oh man, double kills for Piglet and Impact. That was a perfect ace. And Baron. This game is basically over. In fact, it is over. Surrender from LGIM and SK Telecom T1 coming back in style. They took third last season. I don't think they're going to be satisfied with